Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of World of Warships Motorboating with Mammeries, starring me, Tanks for the Mammeries. It's been a while since I've been able to put up a video, and I apologize for that. I've had some trouble with 3.1 and my Gamecaster software for some reason. Every time I try to stream or record a video, it seems to collapse on me. So my apologies for that. Somehow yesterday I was able to get a couple of games fully recorded, and so I'm going to post those for you now. This one is me in the Atlanta, and since it's a post 3.1 video, obviously things like armor and the shell penetration, stuff like that is different. So I'm in the Atlanta here trying to see what will happen if I use a lot of HE ammunition. So I've decided to come east and go up the slot with a couple of other cruisers and figure out if I can get into some trouble with quite possibly some destroyers that are going to be in here. So making my way into the slot now. There's some enemy bombers and torpedo bombers, as well as a cruiser. So one of our cruisers just left, and now it's me and one other. So I'm going to start putting some HE rounds down range. These were pretty on target. He started turning, so my next grouping is going to not quite get there. But I'm keeping an eye on those torpedo bombers because there's not a whole lot of room to maneuver in this slot here. But we're getting some good fire on this guy now. And again, like I said before, I was using HE just to see what would happen when I did. Obviously, he's taking a good bit of hits here, and he's not going to last much longer. And thank goodness I did not run into that cruiser. But they took him out. So as far as I can tell right now, the slot is pretty clear. Although these torpedo bombers are going to start causing some trouble. So I slow down and go to turn into them. And I am able to dodge their torpedoes because obviously one or more of their planes was killed, but I managed to avoid all of those. I was pretty proud of myself for that, and continue on down in the slot. So I'm figuring that there is a destroyer over here somewhere, and I know that there's a cruiser from the other side too, which there he is right there. So I'm figuring I could probably come through here. If he decides to make his way in, I'm going to try to put some torpedoes down there, but he looks like he's sort of heading the opposite direction. And then we see that there is a destroyer down here. And I go to lay some shots early. They all miss because he wasn't quite where I thought he was before I could spot him. He starts maneuvering, but he's not going to have a chance. So all this HE is working wonders. I'm trying to knock his engine out, knock his steering out so that he can't maneuver to fire torpedoes at me effectively. He repairs himself, but I know now that if I shoot him again and set him on fire, he's not going to be able to repair himself. And I was right. He fired torpedoes, so I was able to dodge those and put him out of my misery. So I was pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that result. So I don't know how many torpedoes have been fired at me at this point in time, but there's quite a few. So probably 10 that I was able to dodge. And now we're going to just head on into the enemy backfield because the only thing that's still there is that cruiser. And he's got a lot of trouble from a battleship. I think it's a cruiser, but he has a lot of trouble from a battleship there as well as our guys. So we're going to try and scooch on into the slot. Head a little further north and see if we can't get our hands on the aircraft carriers that are still alive. There's 2 of those at this point. We're really beating these guys up pretty bad. And I'm figuring I'm just not going to have time because we're at almost 700 and they're at less than 100. So I'm not sure I'm going to have a whole lot of time to go chase down the carriers and do some damage to them. But that's everybody else is on the other side of the field, and there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do about it. So press north and see if we can't find those carriers, which I'm pretty positive are hiding behind these islands up here somewhere. Because you can see where the torpedo bombers and dive bombers are coming from. So we're just going to push north as fast as we can and hopefully be able to catch somebody out before the game ends. And, you know, at this point, I have to say, I was kind of hoping they'd sink a few of our ships to bring their score up and ours down a little bit, just so that I would have a chance to get some more points here. And I had some pretty good hits, a base capture, some airplanes shot down, you know, some base defense. So it was a pretty good game so far. I just knew that if I had a chance at these carriers, that I was going to be able to rack up some serious points and hurt them a good bit. So I'm looking around, hoping to spot these carriers, hoping I can catch them before the game ends. Not there yet. At this point, I'm like, man, come on, sink somebody on our side so I have a chance. But we're just, you know, they're going to do it. I think they do kill somebody else here in just a second, but not enough for me to be able to lay more than a few shots on these carriers. And this is pretty much, unfortunately, the end of the game. You know, we've got just a little bit of time left. It's 8:43 to 1:56. That's our destroyer smoke over there on that side. Come on, bad guys. They did kill somebody, so that dropped our points back down to 700 and something, 750 or so, and boosted theirs up a bit, but it's just not going to be enough to make a difference, unfortunately. So still hoping to spot some of the carriers. A whole bunch of action going on over there, but it's just too far away. It's just out of my range. I won't be able to get there in time. Everybody on our team is heading over that way. We had a really early lead on the cap circles, so they were just never able to make it up, and we just took out way too many of their ships. And right about now, we should be spotting, there she is, one of the carriers in range, and so I'm going to try and put some fire into her if I can. Just get a little bit in there. Try to get some HE on the deck, let it on fire so she can't recover aircraft or take aircraft off. And that's HE from just the forward guns, and that was almost 2,200 damage. There's almost 3,000 damage. And scooting out of the way. And the destroyer's coming around from the other side. And that's pretty much going to be it for us. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.